Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Kajal Jindal from University of Delhi. Today we are going to discuss about the module Orbital Angular Momentum 2 from paper Quantum Mechanics. So students, let us first see what we are going to learn in this module. In this module, we will know the explicit representation of spherical harmonics for some lowest values of L. We will learn physical interpretation of spherical harmonics from the point of view of quantum mechanics. We will study some important properties of spherical harmonics. We will learn the behavior of spherical harmonics under parity operation. We will study the vector model of the spherical harmonics. Finally, we will analyze the behavior of a particle on the sphere and study rigid rotator. This module is a direct continuation of the preceding module on orbital angular momentum. Having studied some important properties of spherical harmonics, we shall turn over to study the behavior of spherical harmonics under parity operation. We shall also study explicit representations of spherical harmonics for a few lowest values of L given the polar plot of the probability density distribution. In the next section, a vector model of angular momentum is discussed. Finally, as a simple illustration of the application of spherical harmonics, we discuss motion of a particle on surface of sphere and apply it to the case of rigid rotator. Let us begin with the explicit representation of spherical harmonics for the lowest few values of L. Spherical harmonic y00 of theta phi is equal to 1 by square root 4 pi. y10 of theta phi is equal to square root of 3 by 4 pi cos theta. y1 plus minus 1 of theta phi is equal to minus plus square root of 3 by 8 pi sin theta into exponential of plus minus iota phi. y20 theta phi is equal to square root of 5 by 16 pi into 3 cos square theta minus 1. y2 plus minus 1 of theta phi is equal to minus plus square root of 15 by 8 pi sin theta cos theta exponential plus minus iota phi. y2 plus minus 2 theta phi is equal to square root of 15 by 32 pi sin square theta exponential of plus minus 2 iota phi. These functions are obviously complex. However, since the complex nature is only contained in exponential of iota m phi, the absolute value of modulus of y-lm of theta phi is independent of phi and therefore real. The polar plots of the probability density distribution, that is square of modulus of y-lm of theta phi, are shown in the figure for a few values of L. The results of the formulation developed in the preceding module can be summarized in the following two equations. Operator L square acting on y-lm of theta phi gives an eigenvalue h cut square L into L plus 1 with the eigenfunction y-lm of theta phi, where L takes up the values 0, 1, 2 and so on. Operator Lz acting on y-lm of theta phi gives the eigenvalue of h cut into m with the eigenfunction y-lm of theta phi, where m can takes the values ranging from plus L to minus L. The second equation, which states that the z component of angular momentum can take only discrete values, integral multiples of h cut is in fact quantum mechanical statement of space quantization. From experimental standpoint, any observation designed to measure LZ can also give the result in h cut with only integral values of m. In atomic physics, it is known that when an atom is subjected to a magnetic field whose direction is conventionally taken along the z-axis, causes the energy of the atoms to change by an amount proportional to the z component of the magnetic moment, which in turn is related to operator LC. Thus, space quantization manifests itself through discrete changes in atomic levels in the presence of magnetic field. That is why the quantum number m is called the magnetic quantum number. Note that as far as the components of angular momentum L are concerned, all are on the same footing. What is said above regarding LZ is equally true for any other component. The reason why special prominence is given to the z-axis is that it also represents the direction of the polar axis in the spherical coordinate system. Let us recall that all the three components, operator Lx, operator Ly, and operator Lz of operator L commute with operator L square. That is, commutator of operator Lx with operator L square is equal to the commutator of operator Ly with operator L square. This is also equal to the commutator of operator Lz with operator L square, and all of them equal 0, whereas the commutator of operator Li with operator Lj is equal to iota times epsilon ijk operator Lk, where ijk is equal to xyz. Thus, we could equally well obtain simultaneous eigenstates of Lx and operator L square, or operator Ly and operator L square. Obviously, such states would not coincide with the spherical harmonic Ylm of theta phi for the reason that Lx and Ly do not commute with Lz. In fact, the very occurrence of degeneracy of the eigenvalues of operator L square with 2L plus 1 fold for any given value of L shows that there is underlying symmetry according to which any direction in space is as good as any other. The existence of symmetry makes it possible to have different ways of using the commutation relations. Let us now discuss some important properties of spherical harmonics. Some of the important and useful properties of spherical harmonics are Ylm of theta phi is equal to minus 1 raised to power m Yl minus m star theta phi. This is equal to minus 1 raised to power m Ylm of minus theta minus phi. It can also be shown that Ylm of theta phi form a complete set so that a function f of theta phi can be expanded in terms of them as f of theta phi is equal to summation L going from 0 to infinity, summation m going from minus L to plus L, Alm Ylm of theta phi. By using the orthonormality relation, the coefficients of the expansion can be written as Alm is equal to integral Ylm star theta phi into f of theta phi d omega. Substituting equation 6 into equation 5 and using the orthonormality relation defined in equation 4, we get the closure relation represented as summation L is equal to 0 to infinity, summation m going from minus L to plus L, YLM star of theta prime phi prime YLM of theta phi is equal to delta of omega minus omega prime, where delta of omega minus omega prime is equal to delta of theta minus theta prime into delta of phi minus phi prime divided by sine theta. From equations 2 and 3, it is also clear that YL0 of theta is equal to square root of 2L plus 1 by 4 pi PL of cos theta, and YLL of theta phi is equal to minus 1 raised to power L into square root of 2L plus 1 by 4 pi 2L factorial divided by 2 raised to power 2L into square of L factorial into sine theta raised to power L into exponential of iota L phi. We now introduce the ladder operators, which are defined as operator L plus is equal to operator Lx plus iota times operator Ly. This is equal to h cut into exponential of iota phi into within the brackets del by del theta plus iota into cot theta into del by del phi. Similarly, operator L plus can also be written as operator Lx minus iota times operator Ly, and this is equal to h cut times exponential minus iota phi into within the brackets minus del by del theta plus iota times cot theta into del by del phi. Note that these operators are not Hermitian, but they are mutually adjoint, since the complex conjugate of operator L plus is equal to operator Lx minus iota times operator Ly, which is in turn equal to operator L minus. And similarly, the operator L minus dagger is equal to operator Lx plus iota times operator Ly, which is in turn equal to operator L plus. Also, since operator Lx and operator Ly commute with operator L square, so we have the commutator of operator L square with the ladder operator given as operator L plus minus is equal to 0. Now, using the general properties of spherical harmonics, we can show that operator L plus acting on YLM of theta phi is equal to square root of within the brackets L into L plus 1 minus M into M plus 1 bracket close into YL M plus 1 of theta phi. Similarly, operator L minus acting on YLM of theta phi is equal to square root of within the brackets L into L plus 1 minus M into M minus 1 bracket close into YL M minus 1 of theta phi. Note that these relations are just what are required by the equations we obtained in the preceding modules for general angular momentum operators. It also follows that integral of y star L prime M prime L plus minus operator YLM d omega is equal to square root of within the brackets L into L plus 1 minus M into M plus minus 1 brackets close delta L prime into delta M prime into MM plus minus 1. This is equal to the inner product of L prime M prime with the ladder operator L plus minus acting on ket LM. This result is just a verification of what we learned from the known nature of angular momentum eigenfunctions in the Schrödinger representation. Let us next discuss the spherical harmonics under parity operation. The concept of parity has already been introduced in one of the earlier modules. it may be formally defined by specifying its effect on the wave functions. That is, psi prime of Rt is equal to parity operator acting on psi of Rt, which is equal to psi of minus Rt. That is, it causes the wave function to change into a new wave function under the operation r tending to minus r. Since r and minus r are inverse points equidistant from the origin but in opposite directions as is shown below in figure 2, this operation is also called the space inversion. It becomes clear from the figure that inversion with theta tending to pi minus theta and phi tending to pi plus phi. Thus, parity operator P acting on y-lm of theta phi is equal to y-lm of pi minus theta and pi plus phi. We note from equation 3 that y-lm of theta phi is equal to minus 1 raised to power m PL cos theta raised to power m into exponential iota m phi. Now, since theta tends to pi minus theta, so cos theta tends to cos of pi minus theta and is in turn equal to minus cos theta, and sin theta tends to sin theta. Therefore, the factor given by 1 minus x square raised to power modulus of m by 2 is equal to sin theta raised to power mod m in PL of m of x remains unaffected. However, the polynomial factor acquires a sign minus raised to power minus 1 raised to power L equal to modulus of m. Thus, y-lm of theta phi tends to minus 1 raised to power L minus modulus of m plus m into y-lm of theta phi. This is equal to minus 1 raised to power L y-lm of theta phi since m is an integer. That is to say, y-lm has parity given by minus 1 raised to power L. So we have the operator P acting on y-lm of theta phi is equal to minus 1 raised to power L y-lm of theta phi. This shows that y-lm under parity is odd for odd L and even under even L. It should also be added that operator P commutes with operator L square and operator LC. In fact, it commutes with all the components of operator L. For example, operator P into operator LZ acting on psi of RT is equal to minus iota h cut operator P within the brackets x del by del y minus y del by del x bracket close psi of RT. This is equal to minus iota h cut into within the brackets minus x into del by del of minus y minus y into del by del of minus x on psi of minus RT. This is equal to L operator LZ into psi of minus RT, which is equal to operator LZ operator P acting on psi of RT. We next discuss the vector model of angular momentum. Let us consider a particle which is in the orbital angular momentum state ket Lm and the angular part of its wave function psi, which is normalized to unity, is given by y-lm of theta phi. Thus we have operator L square acting on ket Lm is equal to h cut square into L plus 1 ket Lm. Similarly, operator LZ acting on ket Lm is equal to h cut into m acting on ket Lm. We have also seen in the preceding module that inner product of Lm with operator L plus minus ket Lm is equal to h cut into square root of within the brackets L into L plus 1 minus M into M plus minus 1 bracket close into inner product of Lm with Lm plus minus 1. This is equal to 0, where we use the fact that spherical harmonics satisfy the orthonormality condition. That is, the inner product of Lm with L prime M prime is equal to delta L L prime into delta M M double prime. Using equation 21, we also have the scalar product of Lm with operator Lx ket Lm is equal to 1 by 2 inner product of Lm with operator L plus plus operator L minus on ket Lm. This is equal to 0. Similarly, inner product of Lm with operator Ly acting on ket Lm is equal to 0. On the other hand, the inner product of Lm with operator Lx square acting on ket Lm is equal to inner product of Lm with operator Ly square acting on ket Lm is equal to 1 by 2 into inner product of Lm with operator L square minus Lz square acting on ket Lm. This is equal to 1 by 2 into within the brackets L into L plus 1 minus M square bracket close into H cut square. Note that when M is equal to plus 1 or M is equal to minus 1, so that the orbital angular momentum is respectively parallel or anti-parallel to the z-axis, its x and y components are still not zero, although the average values still vanish. It is convenient to visualize these results in terms of the vector model. According to the model, the orbital angular momentum vector L of length given by square root of L into L plus 1 h cut precesses about the z-axis. The 2L plus 1 allowed projections of operator L on this axis are given by M, where M can take up the values minus L to plus L. The vector model of angular momentum for the orbital angular momentum for L is equal to 2 is shown diagrammatically. It can be seen that the vector L of length given by square root of L into L plus 1 h cut precesses about the axis of quantization, and the 2L plus 1 allowed projections of L can be seen. We next move on to discuss the particle on the sphere and the rigid rotator. Let us illustrate the results with the help of a simple example. Consider a particle of mass mu and let the momentum P is equal to minus iota h cut del be its momentum operator in the position representation. The kinetic energy operator of the particle is given in this representation by operator T is equal to operator P square divided by twice of mu. This is equal to minus of h cut square by 2 mu into operator del square. Now expressing the Laplacian operator del square in spherical polar coordinates, we can write operator T is equal to minus h cut square by 2 mu into within the brackets 1 by r square into del by del r of r square del by del r plus 1 by r square sine theta into del by del theta of sine theta del by del theta plus 1 by r square sine square theta into del square by del phi square. Or I can write the kinetic energy operator T is equal to minus h cut square by 2 mu into within the brackets 1 by r square del by del r of r square del by del r minus operator L square divided by h cut square r square, where the expression for the angular momentum operator is obtained in the preceding module and is used over here. Suppose the particle is constrained to move on the surface of a sphere of radius a. Taking the center of the sphere as the origin of the coordinates, r is therefore r has therefore a fixed value, which is r is equal to a. Hence, the first term in the square brackets on the right side of equation 12 does not occur, and the kinetic energy operator of the particle reduces to kinetic energy operator T is equal to operator L square divided by 2 mu A square, which is equal to operator L square divided by 2 times I, where I in equation 26 represents moment of inertia of the particle about the origin. Also, the potential energy V of the particle is clearly independent of R. Assuming that the potential energy is also time independent, so the Hamiltonian of the particle is given by Hamiltonian operator H is equal to operator L square divided by twice of moment of inertia plus operator V of theta phi. The time independent Schrodinger equation is written as within the brackets operator L square by 2 times moment of inertia plus the potential energy operator V of theta phi brackets close acting on psi of theta phi is equal to E times psi of theta phi. We next discuss the case of rigid rotator, where we turn over to a situation in which the particle is free except for being constrained to move on the sphere, so that the potential V is equal to 0. We are then dealing with a rigid rotator. The Hamiltonian equation given by equation 27 is then simplified to Hamiltonian operator H is equal to operator L square divided by 2 times moment of inertia, and the Schrodinger equation becomes operator L square divided by 2 times moment of inertia acting on psi of theta phi is equal to E times psi of theta phi. Since the eigenfunctions of operator L square are the spherical harmonics given by Ylm of theta phi, so its eigenvalues are given by L into L plus 1 into h cut square, where L can take the values 0, 1, 2 and so on. We find that the eigenfunctions of the rigid rotator Hamiltonian are also given by Ylm of theta phi. The corresponding energy eigenvalues are Ei is equal to h cut square by 2 times moment of inertia into L plus 1, where L can take up the values 0, 1, 2 and so on. It is worth mentioning that the energy eigenvalues are independent of the quantum number m. In other words, the 2L plus 1 eigenfunctions given by Ylm of theta phi for m taking up the values ranging from minus L to plus L correspond to the same energy. That is, the energy level EL is 2L plus 1 fold degenerate. The degeneracy arises because the Hamiltonian of the rigid rotator commutes with the orbital angular momentum operator L and is therefore invariant. Invariant under rotation. Thus, for this system represented by the Hamiltonian, all directions of space are physically equivalent. Equation 31, giving the eigenvalues of the rigid rotator Hamiltonian, can be used to obtain an approximation for the rotational energy levels of a diatomic molecule, as for example HCl. A diatomic molecule can be considered in the first approximation as a rigid dumbbell with the nuclei of 2 atoms held fixed. Classically, the kinetic energy of rotation is T is equal to 1 by 2 I omega square. That is, it is equal to I omega whole square divided by 2 times I, which is equal to L square divided by 2I, which can thus be easily translated to the quantum mechanical case. The Hamiltonian of such a system is just Hamiltonian operator H is equal to momentum operator L square, angular momentum operator L square divided by 2 times moment of inertia, so that the energy eigenvalues are given by equation 31. So students, let us now summarize what we have learned in this module. In this module, we have known the explicit representation of spherical harmonics for some lowest values of L. We have learned physical interpretation of spherical harmonics from the point of view of quantum mechanics. We have studied some important properties of spherical harmonics. We have learned the behavior of spherical harmonics under parity operation. We have studied the vector model of the spherical harmonics. Next, we have analyzed the behavior of a particle on the sphere and studied rigid rotator. Thank you, students, for your kind attention.